랜덤 게임, 랜덤 게임, 게임 스타트.
아파트 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 kissy face sent to your phone but I'm trying to kiss your lips for real. Red hearts, that's what I'm on, yeah. Come give me something I can feel.
I became friends with Logan kind of on a whim. We were at one of our friends' houses and I was invited over, and this was like one of the first times we actually hung out outside of like cheer and like other cheer events. And we kind of just bonded, we talked. It was a long night. We were up until like, what, 5 a.m.? Something crazy like that. And then I became friends with Timmy because Timmy was already friends with some people that I was just becoming friends with, and he lived with them. And because we were over there all the time, I always saw Timmy, and I always thought Timmy was so nice. So
really introverted though.
yeah, he didn't really talk a lot at first, but once he started talking, he was funny and he was really nice.
And then Abby and I met at this party. It was like a big group thing, and it got really loud and overstimulating at one point, so I literally like was sitting next to her on the couch, and it was the first time I've ever like talked to her, and I was like, do you want to go to the bathroom? It's really loud. And then we were in the bathroom, and while we were in the bathroom, I took some sunglasses off of her face, and I was like, oh, these look good on me. We should be friends. And then I broke a chair.
Whenever Logan and I became friends, we actually had no idea that we were going to like be even roommates. We found out we were on the same team together, and so he reached out to me and was like, do you want to be roommates? And I was like, yeah, sure. So we became roommates, and that was the first time we ever saw each other, was during work week. And
I aspire to be able to be as level-headed and fair whenever it comes to some situations, because Timmy's just great. He's always so kind, and I want to be like that. If I could talk to my younger self right now, the biggest thing that I would just say is that hold on and take everything in. Things are a lot different than you might have expected, but they're amazing the way that they are, and you just kind of gotta push through and things work themselves out. So
I would tell her not to give up, even though that the situation that she's in now could be difficult, that it will get better, and like just everything will get better.
I was looking at different places to go, and luckily I had a competition in Oklahoma for the first time ever on my all-star team. So when I came to Oklahoma, I reached out to Sally, our coach, and I ended up being able to come to one of our practices, well, one of their practices, and turns out they had choreo for Daytona that day, and I got to see the choreographer and also just like the team as a whole, and I met Sally, and the next day I also toured OSU campus, and I really can't describe the feeling that I felt in those moments, but I knew that this university was the place for me, not only just for cheer, but also for academics. And honestly, as the years go by, I've never been more sure of my decision, and it's a little hard being far from home, but knowing that I have these people here, it makes it feel so right. It makes it feel like the perfect second home to have.
I knew that I wanted to be an OSU cheerleader the moment that I had my first exposure to the team and the university. Being at a large university has always been a major goal of mine, and Oklahoma State just felt like home the second that I like laid my eyes on it, and even more so whenever I was around it. So that was my sophomore year of high school, and since then I kind of just chased the dream, and the last 3-4 years I've been living it and loving every second of it, and I wouldn't change a thing.
Shut!
I'd say my biggest piece of advice to any person that's ever in a future leadership role, especially with OSU cheer and like the vibe that we've had and we've experienced, is you kind of have to be, what's the way to say this? You have to be stern, but you can't be too stern or else people will think that you're mean or you're rude for no reason. It's like you have to be able to find the balance between like keeping people motivated in a positive way, but also making sure that like you're like, hey, like you're not doing your shit and you should be. So there's a fine line that you have to kind of tiptoe through, but
I would say that for anybody that's in a leadership role or is a captain, to know how to take control of a room, but also kind of like what Logan said, to make sure that you're doing it in a right way and always be respectful. But my biggest piece of advice would have to be that you do not change the character and the person who you are, because you're a captain and a leader for a reason, and when you're voted as that, people vote because they like you as a person, they like who you are, and they trust that you can be the type of person to really take a hold of this team. And yes, that is a big role, but stay true to yourself, because that really shows the team and every person that you're truly authentic.